Welcome back to another episode of Bombshell 1111 Girl Talk Series Podcast. Bombshell 1111 is a platform created to teach ways to nourish the mind, body, and soul. This platform allows this podcast to create weekly content on podcasts with special guests each week that will stimulate your spiritual, mental, and physical growth. The podcasts are played on social media platforms such as Spotify, YouTube, Anchor Radio Station, Apple Podcasts, and more. This station has been created to allow us to interact with each other to share knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and light. So without further ado, please help me welcome your host and founder of Bombshell 1111 Girl Talk Series, Kia.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Bombshell 1111 Podcast. My name is Kia, and I'm your host. Tonight, we have another special episode entitled Teaching the Youth, and our special guest is Indigo Ayo Ra, who is the CEO and founder at I in the Middle Publishing. Ayo has recently signed 2 authors, and she also influences through speaking and entertainment such as stage plays and movies. So without further ado, you guys, let's welcome her to the show. Hello, Indigo. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Greetings. Thank you for having me on your show.
You're very, very much welcome. I'm so happy that you decided to come on and be a part of Bombshell 1111 podcast and share some of your knowledge with the community and with the listeners tonight. And hopefully by the end of this podcast, you would have touched some listeners tonight and, share some valuable information as it relates to literacy and your book that we will soon be discussing later on in the podcast.
Indeed.
So without further ado, let's just jump right in. Can you let the listeners know by giving a formal introduction of who you are and the reason behind you coming on the podcast tonight?
Yes, indeed. Well, greetings to everyone out there. I'm trusting that you are having a wonderful, wonderful day in spite of everything that is going on around the world. My name is Indigo Ayo Ra. I am an author as well as a publisher, playwright, and now currently a screenwriter.
Whoa.
Yes, indeed.
Congratulations.
I am thankful. I'm thankful and I'm so excited. It's like a whole new venture because I'm just used to doing stage plays. So screenwriting now is like a whole new venture for me. Like I mentioned before, I'm a children's book author. I write books for children to help elevate their minds, to teach them the true essence of who they are, because unfortunately in a public school system and now even at home at these babies' houses, they're not being taught who they are. There are so many things for them to not love themselves fully and completely. So I was just very compelled to make sure that our children know how precious they are and just love themselves and love their beauty. So that's why I was so compelled to write these books. And it's a universal book. It's for everyone. I've had adults come up to me and like, girl, I didn't know this. Like I'm learning from this book, And like I said, it's universal. It's for, I feel like it's for every different,
age group or genre.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's okay. Where specifically are you located?
I am located currently out of Washington, D.C., unfortunately. But, one day. One day I will be somewhere where closer to the sun. get that
Oh,
vitamin
wow.
D. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, Indigo, how long have you been a children's book author?
Let's see. I started the children's book actually 2017 is when I like started the publishing company. I had the book written. I didn't get it printed until I found out that I was with child. And then I was like, oh no, I got to make some moves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's funny because the very first book I did is called A King in Training Wheels. And I did not know the sex of my baby until we had him. And then so I was like, dang, he was talking to me telepathically through the book, letting me know he's on his
my
way.
God, you had a son. Yeah.
So it.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing experience. But the books are teaching like about chakras, which is some things that a lot of children don't know about. A lot of adults don't even know what the pineal, or some people call it the pineal gland, is. It's teaching them the importance of the central nervous system and how it's directly connected to how the central nervous system and their hair is directly connected to the source, the all. You know what I mean? How they can receive all that wonderful cosmic information with their hair, because their hair stands up. And this is why we have hair that stands up, because it's like an antenna to receive this information. So it's just really just teaching divine knowledge of self and loving thyself.
So would you consider your, I would say, when you go into a Barnes and Nobles, the categories that you would find your book in, would you consider it somewhat kind of a spiritual practice in your writing, or what would you define your writing as?
Yeah, I definitely would define it as spiritual, because everything that I write, I always, even with the stage plays and the screenplays that I write, I always have a message in there at the end of the day. I still do things that is compelling for the audience. Of course, things that the audience, I'm talking about when it comes to stage plays and screenwriting, things that the audience are going to be able to relate to. And then I just go ahead and just swing and swoosh that little educational, spiritual stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the show, they're like, man, that was funny. And then they was like, but wow, you know what? I didn't even think about it like that. Like, just to spark their mind.
Like message.
Yeah. Exactly. And I make sure that I do that in everything. Everything.
So okay, so let's talk about like you as an author, you as a writer. What inspired you initially to even become a children's book author?
Mostly because I've just seen the self-hate. Not just in the generation of today, but I can even look back to myself and not thinking that I was pretty enough. And I remember my mom actually told me, she'll be like, oh, I'm surprised you are the way that you are now, because when I was younger, I always used to say, oh, I'm going to be with a light-skinned guy with a light-skinned guy with cornrows, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, that was better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really compares. You silly girl.
Go ahead, because that is the typical norm for us because you're thinking that's more, attractive because they're the way they look, and I get it, but go ahead.
Yes, indeed. So so it was just more for like just our children that's coming up, so they wouldn't have to experience some of the things that I felt like our generation had to experience, with not knowing how beautiful they are. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom up here, and everyone's growing and learning at the end of the day. So I can't fault her for just not knowing. But as a child, I'm 7 years old, 7, 8, maybe 9 years old, getting a perm in my hair. Like what? Like that's crazy,
right?
And I thought that was how I was supposed to look. Like I want a perm. I want my hair to look curly. You know what I'm saying? I want the wind to blow my hair. And
because that's what's acceptable in society.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what just really compelled me to do it. I was like, yo, we gotta raise a different generation of babies. You know what I mean? Actually teaching them something, and also just I felt like, because I started with A King in Training Wheels, but it's a universal book for girls, boys, like I said, adults, so adults learn from it as well. I felt like starting with having the character in here, his name is Morocco, and I wanted to start with the young men because I feel like they're the most attacked. You know what I mean? And I just felt like if they start learning how precious they are now, maybe it'll help them to make some different choices, because life is complicated. You know what I'm saying? And you're not always going to do what is considered right. But I just felt like, well, maybe, just maybe, if they start reading this information and knowing how precious they are, then maybe it can help them to make different decisions throughout their life. Maybe they can hear parts of the book ringing in the back of their head when, you know, they're facing something.
I get what you said, when they go through those different milestones. When you're younger, it tends to stick with them longer. You know, it goes all back to when a woman is pregnant and the baby is in the womb, and you're letting the baby listen to music and reading to the baby, and the baby, you know what I mean? So yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. You just kind of shared that you wanted to start off with focusing on the male gender. Let me ask you a question. What's the most difficult thing about writing characters of opposite sex? So writing for little boys and little girls, being that you do have a son, how was that process for you?
You know, I haven't really found... Well, okay, let me take that back. I was about to say I haven't found any difficulty in right now. But right now, I'm going to have a third book come out. It's called A Goddess in Training. And it can be a little, especially when you're doing a children's book, you know, because I want to teach these young women all about themselves. But I have to be mindful that these are just children. You know what I mean?
Children, yeah.
So I have found a little bit of battle in wanting to convey the message, but make sure that it is not too much for a child's mind. You know what I mean? And not offensive to the parents. But our young girls are very precious, and they do need to know about their bodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have found a little bit of battle with that. And it's because I really want to gear it towards the young ladies. Like with A King in Training Wheels, it wasn't like necessarily geared towards a specific gender. You know, it was just universal information. But this book in particular, A Goddess in Training, is geared towards the young ladies. So yeah, I'm still finding that balance in it and conveying that message appropriately, you know, so that no parents won't be hitting me up like, yo, what in the world?
I know what a girl's at. What's up? I mean, because I got two daughters. My daughters may want to read the book, Miss Indigo.
Yes, I'm
just saying.
I'm working on conveying it in a way that it's conducive for the parents, and also that our young women understand and still be able to take in the information from it.
Okay, I definitely agree with that. So you said that now you're working on your third book. How did you publish your first book? And then in doing that with your first book, did that change your writing process and going forward? Okay,
so how I published my book, I started my own publishing company. It's called Indie Middle Publishing, LLC, where we are raising frequencies one book at a time. That is our goal, to make sure that we're raising the frequencies, the vibrations of people on this planet as they are reading. And the whole process of starting a publishing company wasn't too difficult. You know, of course, you have to get a business license and then come up with your mission statement and things like that, and gather your website and everything of that nature. The publishing process is definitely a learning. it's definitely a learning experience. Definitely something that I'm still learning along the way.
Yeah.
You still got to get the ISBN number, and then the printing, and then the illustrations and things of that nature. So yeah, it is definitely a process.
Is it a long process, a long tedious process, you would say?
It can be, if you don't have that financial coverage, because everything costs money. You know what I'm saying?
Everything. Nothing is
everything
free.
costs money. So being an independent company, it can be, and it does definitely have its challenges at times, but I'm just too motivated to take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay,
right.
These sales up when we pushing these books. Like, I know, like, I share with people, I'm like, look, keep promoting. Like, it's either two things that's gonna happen. One, they probably gonna get tired of you. You're gonna get on their nerves. Or they're gonna help you share and promote you as well. But at the end of the day, they're gonna know what you stand for. You know what I mean? Like, that's
yes, definitely. Yes, I agree. Yes.
So that's definitely where I am with it. Then I have two great authors who came over to I in the Middle Publishings. One you had on your show, Sunshine Monet, or yes, indeed, or Unique Monet. And she has her book Show and Tell Out, where she's the author as well as the illustrator. And then we have Sleep Baby as well, and that is by a young lady named Tiara Michelle. And I'm gonna see if we can hopefully get you in contact with her as well.
Yeah, definitely, and bring her on. I think it's a great thing for you guys to be African American young ladies, and to it's when someone creates a business venture, it's always a great thing and a positive thing because you're standing out on your own. But when it relates back to something that's very vital within life, and like what you're doing, I think is vital for children, because education, literacy, that's something that's very important for them. And then within doing that, you're also teaching them about self-love. You're teaching them about self. So there's a message within what you're teaching in your book. So I admire you for that.
Thanks. I'm thankful. I appreciate it. And
you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
For having your platform as well. You know what I mean? Like, that's beautiful. I love it. I love it. And then you're out here.
Thank you.
Helping other entrepreneurs and other artists to get their information and their brand using your platform for it. So, praises to you as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Woo. But tonight is not about me. It's about Miss Indigo. We want to know all about you. It's all about you. So let's keep talking about you, Miss Indigo. And thank you so very much for that compliment too. So let's talk about, because a lot of people, they don't know about the publishing industry. Because you tend to not notice a lot of African American authors. I know of Zane because I read, those kind of books. And so, like, I can read, I used to go online and I forget the website, but I used to order like collections of books where I only had to pay for the shipping and handling, and they would be all Black authors. But some people, they don't know about that industry. So let's teach them something about that. Well, let's let you teach them something about that tonight. Is there any unethical practices that happen within that industry that make it harder, maybe for an African American woman to be able to grow within that industry?
I wouldn't say that I've necessarily experienced that, but I can say that I'm pretty sure that it would. But I mean, let's say this. So I went to do a vending event at I believe it's called the Black Wall Street, and I've came across all customers. Of course, they were all melanated, melanated beings, and they came up and had no problems, buying the book, want to take a picture and everything.
Right.
But I also did another event, and I do not remember where it was. It was somewhere out in Maryland. It was like a field day or something for the children. And a lot of people just would not come over to the table, but it was a mixed crowd. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say necessarily that it had anything to do with my complexion. I just think that it had everything to do with just like the demographics. You know what I mean? Like where the location of where we were. Yeah, I haven't really experienced it and experienced anything like that. I've gotten a really good people coming in, and like once I tell them,
a good response.
Thank you, girl.
Yeah.
It's okay, girl. For that word, I was like, "Where you at?
I got you, girl. I got you, sister. I got you.
Yeah. So like when I tell people that I own a publishing company, like that really intrigues them. They're like, "Oh, this is your publishing company? Okay." Yeah. So I mean, I think it's probably about demographics. I'm sure if I go in like a predominantly white area, they're gonna be looking at me sideways.
Yeah. Does your family support your career as a writer?
Yeah, definitely. My mom is always there. Most of the time she comes to a lot of the vending events with me because she has my son and she helped me out with him. But even when I do my stage plays, they're up at the front taking tickets, doing concessions, whatever it is I need it for. My mom and my sister, they're definitely always there.
Oh, that's so nice that you got a support system. That's probably very important, especially when you're doing your writing process, needing that additional support to be able to have that. Well, let's talk about that. What is your process for writing? How do you go about writing, and generally, how long does it take for you to even write and get a book published?
That is a good question. It can go really fast. You know what I mean? Like A Goddess in Training, I feel like I've completed the book, but I also don't feel like I've completed the book. And I wrote that in probably about a week. You know what I mean? Wow. But then at the same point, I'm like reading back over it, and I'm like, there might be things I want to change and take out. So, I mean, it can go from a week. Sometimes it can be a month. Like I said, I had a King in Training. I had it written in my computer, but I didn't really go about getting it printed until I found out I was with child. So, like, I just had it sitting there. And then, like, the screenplay that I just got done doing, that took me about 3 months. And that's just because I am the type of person that I have to write when I feel it. I can't force myself to write, because then I feel like I delivered crap. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I'm in the groove of things, I could just like spit things out like left and right. And it's beautiful. Wow. I love writing. Yeah. It takes me away from this crazy world. Yes. I'm just gonna agree and let you keep talking. Yes, it's just so therapeutic for me. Sometimes I write in my stage plays and I forget that I'm in a room. I be feeling like I'm on the stage, like, and I'm like every character. Yeah, So how do you even determine what characters you're gonna choose within your screenplays and your books? How do you know? So funny, people be asking me that question all the time, and you know what? It's so funny because they be like, "How do you come up with these characters?" And at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like it can come from a balance of things. It can come from people I probably know. The storyline more so could come from like somebody I've known, and it could be like one little thing that they had to happen in life, and I could like just base it off of that and then grow it. But these actual characters, like how their demeanor is and what they do, if they bob their head, or what I'm saying, like, or if they have a twitch about them or something, this strictly comes from out of my head. So it's like people be like, writers are really crazy. I know.
No, I didn't know, but you just informed me.
I'm joking. Maybe a little bit.
Maybe very imagine. They have a great imagination, maybe. Yeah, we're gonna say that.
Okay,
we're gonna say that
go.
for the listeners. Right. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna say that for the
wink, wink, imagination. There we go.
Oh yeah, right.
But
right.
yeah, I just have all these different characters that really just like pop in my head, and the greatest gift is to actually see it come to life on stage, and then seeing the audience reaction to it, seeing them laugh, sometimes seeing them cry. Like, that is just the most rewarding thing. Just even know that, like, wow, you found this entertaining. You know what I mean? The very first stage play that I did was in 2014, and after the show, people was literally coming up. People that I didn't even know. Like my family was there, but then it was also, you know, the other cast members' family. I didn't know them. And they're like, hey, you're like the new Tyler Perry. You know, although I don't want to like coin that term, because Tyler Perry is Tyler Perry, Indigo Ayo Ra is Indigo Ayo Ra. But I was still grateful. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Right. Mm-hmm. So how many screenplays have you done? How many have you?
Well, screenplays. I just completed one comedy. That's called Unpublished Family. It's going to be in theaters near you very soon. Watch out. Yes. Hey.
I'm watching out.
And then I also, in the makings right now, I have a horror movie. I also have a romance. So that's going to be three screenplays thus far. And as far as the stage plays go, I've written 4, but I've had like over 10 performances. Yeah.
Whoa. Oh my God, that is so great. That is congratulations, dude. That is so awesome. That's so awesome.
I'm so thankful. So we actually got a really good review in the theater. It's called Metro Theater. So if you all go to Metro Theater and type in Judge Me Not, it's gonna pop up all of the information about the show. Yeah, definitely. So
okay. Are you able to watch it online?
No, we don't have it online.
Okay. But we are.
I'm gonna have eventually be able to have these shows on DVDs. Like I said, everything right now, it's just coming more from like a financial standpoint. You know what I mean? That's in its beginning stages too. And people have to like really know you. I mean, the good thing is that Judge Me Not was actually a part of the Capitol Fringe Festival, which is a very big festival that happens in the Washington D.C. area, where producers and execs from all over the world come out and watch your performance. So we were able to gain audience members from there. So wow, that was a very great experience. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, so let me ask you a question. So you said you have a lot of you've had an opportunity to get reviews on your screenplays and your books and things of that nature. How do you deal with the not so good reviews, if you have had any of those?
Girl, I sure did. Let me tell you something. The very first book that I wrote was called Misunderstood. It's an urban fiction. I do not promote it because I just feel like I'm in a different phase of my life. And I want to definitely just put books out there that's going to be lifting our people up. And that book is a little bit raunchy, girl. I read back over it. I was like, who wrote this book? I was like, this is
oh my
awesome.
Goodness.
Okay.
Okay.
Girls that I know out in New Jersey. I used to actually live out in New Jersey and traveling to New York to do stand-up comedy and things like that. She did a review on the book, and she was very honest. I wouldn't say that necessarily it was a bad review. It just wasn't. It just could have been better. And basically, she was just saying that she felt like the ending of the book could have like paced out a little bit more. That was the worst line in there for me, for her to say. And
Okay.
honestly, yeah, no,
That's not too
it's
bad.
honestly, I just feel like any type of come on, girl, what's the word I'm looking for? Searching, not found. No.
Doubt.
Any type of
Okay.
any type
Okay.
of
Okay.
review or attention, any type of attention, whether it's good or bad, is always good. I mean, it's just attention in general, because people are like, oh, well, okay, you said this thing, well, let me see who this person is for myself. You know what I mean? So I don't really take it anyway. I just use it, let it fuel me to keep on going. I mean, if it's something that I could possibly make an adjustment to, like if they gave me a review and it's something I see that I can make an adjustment to, then yeah, that's cool. But if not, then I just keep it moving, because everybody's gonna have their opinions about things, but I don't mean their opinion got anything to do with me.
So are you friends with other authors like that maybe possibly help you to become a better writer, or do you kind of like stand alone, and or is there a networking community as it relates to authors?
I am on excuse me, hold on.
It's okay.
I am on different Facebook groups that have other authors and things like that on there, but no, I haven't like actually come across a lot of like authors like to like talk to, communicate, or build off of, to build with.
Do you think when you have some writers that have a big ego because they've made possibly been very successful, and so they're up there, do you think that helps or hurt a writer to have a big ego?
I don't feel like it's nothing wrong with having a big ego. I mean, you gotta like you gotta think highly of yourself. If you don't think highly of yourself, who's gonna think highly of yourself? I mean, who's gonna think highly of you? So I can't say that it could necessarily hurt them. I mean, I guess it can in some extent. I mean, like, there was a lady who I was connected with who's a published author. And, this is when I was just starting out, and I was trying to ask her about information. She's like, hey, listen, I can give you this information, but this is how much you're going to have to pay me. At the end of the day, I understand, because this is her business. You know what I'm saying? This is how she's making her income. Right. So I can't really say that I feel like she had an ego or anything like that. It's just, it's what it is. As long as it's not no author business that's like cocky, like, oh no, I can't sign your book. No, I don't want to take a picture. That's different. That's different. But,
what are some common traps that aspiring writers fall into, or some that maybe you have faced, if any, throughout your journey?
Only thing I really say that I've fallen into is sometimes I could not feel inspired, and that could really mess with your head, because when you're not inspired, you got writer's block. You can't think straight. Like, it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, like, am I doing the right thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could feel like that. That'd be the only thing I really say that I ran into.
Before, I know you were saying that you had different, I guess you would say, how do they say it in the publishing world? You have different categories that you're working on. You said horror, romance, and then you have the children's books. Out of all of those different genres, we're going to call them genres. Which one would you say? Which one would you say you like writing and enjoy writing the most?
I think it's very well balanced, because the romance and and the comedy is were our screenplays. And then the children's books is a whole different, you know what I mean? It's like a whole different branch. And I'm just passionate overall really about our babies. Writing stage plays is my first love, though. That's what I originally started with. That's what I've been doing forever. You know what I mean? Like when I was younger, writing plays and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a well balanced, though. I love them both. At the end of the day, they're both my passion, and I really feel like that this is why I'm here. I'm here on the planet to help raise the vibration frequency through stage plays, through screenplays, and through not just writing children's books, but other, like, all types of books as well. I actually am wrapping up a teen sci-fi fiction that's going to be coming out very soon. I haven't came up with the title yet. Isn't that crazy? I wrote the whole book, don't know what the title is.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. How many pages are your books? Are they like novel type books, short books?
Let's see. The last one is about 2. It could be like between 200 to 300 pages. I'm talking about like an adult book or a teen sapphire. As far as children's books, they're about between 25 to 28 pages. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of easy. That's easy. Easy reads. Are you planning on your books to, like, as far as your books are concerned, are you planning on them standing alone on their own, or are you trying to build like a body of work that connects with each other?
So the book I have, A King and Trainer Wells, and then it's also The Adventures of Morocco, Baby Egypt, and Cousin Mayat, as well as A Goddess in Training, that's going to be coming out. They're all in conjunction with each other. They're all series books. So Morocco is the one who's basically telling the story of everything. And then within the third book, that's actually Morocco's cousin who's going to be branching off and helping with our young women out here, the goddesses, and teaching them about themselves. So yeah, they're for these children's books, yes, they're all going to be series books.
And how do you market your books? Like, how do you make people aware, especially, like, not only just the African American community, but, every population with, as it relates to being diverse? How do you market your books?
I do a lot of marketing online, a lot of different posts, every other day, just all in people's face, getting on their nerves. But most of my marketing and the best marketing is when I do vending events and I'm really there in the flesh and people are actually able to talk to me. They get to see my personality. I'm able to present myself as well as present my books. Because I've always, like, I share with this other author. She actually contacted me and asked me about some information, and I said, you have to make sure that when you are presenting your marketing, whatever it is that you're marketing, that you also are presenting yourself. And you have to present yourself in a manner that actually can stand on its own, you know what I mean? And support your brand, because if when they walk away from you, you want them to remember something about you. Even if they can't remember the name of your brand, it's like, okay. Yeah. if they come across you on Facebook, they'll be able to spot you. Right. Really work. The vending is the best form of marketing, and then as well as word of mouth. And I always encourage authors to. I'm actually writing a book about this as well. It's going to be about the tricks and the ins and outs of having a publishing company and also being a published or being an author. I also encourage authors to get to know the people in your community. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be your biggest supporters. I'm talking about your neighbors. I'm talking about people at the people at the corner stores, the clerks, and things of that nature. Because once you get in good with them and they know who you are, you can take your flyers around and, hey, it's okay if I set my flyers right here and let them, people pick it up? Sure. that has really worked for me. And then even people in the neighborhood, they be like, "Hey, yo, I think I picked up one of your flyers the other day." You know what I'm saying? But they don't know me. So
yeah.
So that is definitely.
Oh gosh.
That's definitely what I would say. You have to get out there. You have to know the people in your community, because those are going to be the people to help you out. Make conversations with them and make sure that they remember you. Like I went into the store today and the guy was like, "Oh, where's your son?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they know me. They feel like they know me. So those will be the people, because then one day they're gonna be like, they're gonna see somebody that may have a product or something that you have, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I know this young lady who does the blah 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 blah. Here go her card." You know what I mean? So yeah.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever Googled yourself? I had to ask. I mean, because you've made so many different accomplishments, throughout your journey, and I just wanted to ask: have you ever Googled yourself? What was your feeling? What was your reaction when you did that?
Like, I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like the information that is out there. Like it'll pop up like Indigo Ayo Ra, playwright, published author, children's book. It was just like, okay, dang it! Like it motivated me even more. Like it pushed me to go harder, girl. Some things is so crazy, because some things just like motivate the mess out of you. Like I found out some information that like just blew my mind. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, let me get on this computer and start typing. Like that's what happened. I'm actually writing a pilot right now, so I'm gonna be pushing that to the different avenues. I'm just trying to tell people like they need to really look out, because I'm not stopping. I can't.
You own it.
Indeed.
Your vision is clear. 2020. So Indigo, let's keep talking. Let's keep going. You're sharing some very knowledgeable information.
I do too.
And I'm definitely enjoying our conversation. So if you didn't write, what would you be doing right now for work?
I'm sitting in a corner, moving back and forth and scratching my arm. Because I can't do nothing else. It's my passion.
Oh god.
No, but it
it's
really
your
is.
Passion.
I love it so much. But I also do work with adults with disabilities as well. That's something I really truly love, and I really love being able to just help them. And like people don't even get it. Like when you work in this field, you become more than just that person's paid support. That's what they call it. You become way more than that. Like you become their counselor, their friend. Like they come to you when they have a problem. They really feel like you are able to help them, and vice versa. I can go in and be having like just a horrible rising. Like, I don't feel like dealing with nobody today, and they would do something to make me laugh, and I'll be the rest of my day. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my! What population do you work with, and specifically with disabilities?
All different types of disabilities. Right now, I'm currently working. With the senior groups. It's called Humanities in Transition. And I gotta actually give a shout out to this lady. Yo, let me tell you, I used to work with her son over at another program, and she told me, she's like, "Hey, listen, I'm going to open up my own program, and I want you to come work for me." And she told me this probably was like a year, maybe 2-3 years ago. I don't know. And I'm like, okay, but at the time, I just had my son and everything, so I wasn't really trying to go work. I was like, look, I said I'm taking care of my baby. But at the end of the day, like, she's like flourishing. You know what I mean? She is really out here doing it, and like she does it from out of her heart. You know what I mean? So humanities in transition is definitely a place where people want to go if they need assistance. Like I am the director of RSA, so I help adults with disabilities find jobs. So we're getting out here in the pavement, going to talk to different agencies, getting the resumes out. We do resume help training and all that stuff.
That is so... People don't know that other than the podcast, my daytime job, my master's degree is in mental health counseling. That's what I used to do. I used to do what you're doing now, working with people with disabilities and helping them find competitive work within the workforce and helping them get the skills that they may need, social adjustment skills, whatever they may need. And they could have autism, mental health, any form of, disability. I would help them get to where they need to be. And that was the most rewarding job that I had. I moved out of state and that's why I left. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that because I think that's an awesome thing. You're giving back in two ways. So yeah, that's awesome. So what's your favorite book right now? Since you are an author, you do write. What's your favorite book out right now?
Can I say my own? No, I'm just playing.
I don't. It could be.
Well, okay. I like it's called The Comedic Diet, and it basically teaches you the ancient Egyptian way of health, self-healing, and things of that nature. So I could say that would be a favorite book of mine because I really feel in tune with it. You know what I mean? Like when I read it, I really feel like that this is information, divine information from the cosmos.
Yeah, that's valuable. So we talked a lot about, your beginning to the end, all of your milestones that you're reaching, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Whoop to the whoop whoop. So let's get a couple of questions answered before we end this podcast that people are probably really, really wanting to know. What was the best Luciano, the best, coins you made that, as being a writer? Did you get to a point where you could say this is enough sufficient income coming in for me being an author or writer for me to be able to provide and take care of my family?
No. Okay, so here's the thing. With stage plays, and especially because I don't have a nonprofit organization. Most of my profits are the ones that you're able to get a lot of the grants and things from. So most of the times when I do my stage plays, everything is coming out of my pocket. I'm talking, and everybody has to get paid. So you have to pay.
Whoa!
Oh yeah.
So you pay the
nobody
actors and everything.
So the actors have to get paid, the stage renters have to get paid. You have to pay for the theater, and of course you make that money back with the ticket sales and everything. But you have to, be mindful that everybody still has to get paid. So you still come out with some money. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't say that I'm at the point right at this second where I could just solely live off of producing my stage plays and my books. But I know it's coming. You know what I'm saying? It's already here.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah. So shortly.
Yeah. So if you could tell a younger writer or even someone that's aspiring to be a writer, what would you tell them? What piece of advice would you give them?
You have to make sure that you're passionate about it. Make sure that this is something that you really truly want to do. And I say that because you're not always going to have people who's going to like your writing. You're not always going to have people who's going to want to buy your book. But as long as you got that passion behind it and you know that this is what you are, what you have been created to do, then that's all that matters, because you know that no matter what, you're going to keep on going. But see, when someone's not really passionate about it, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna write a book, and then the one time that they get something like a review or something that they don't like, they're done. And then that's just a waste of time, a waste of money, a waste of energy, you know what I'm saying? So that would definitely just make sure that you're passionate about it. And really and truly write, when you do writing, it has to be something that sits right with your heart, whatever topic that it is that you're talking about. Like, you have to really feel like this book can actually stand on its own. Like, if you wasn't around and somebody sitting down on the table, and it's like, I want to read that book. So, yeah, just, it has to, always write from the heart. Right from the heart. That's it.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Miss Indigo, I really enjoyed you tonight. You were full of like energy and light, and I really enjoyed you being a part of my podcast, Bombshell 1111. And I know that the information you share will be very helpful and inspiring to someone who's aspiring to be a writer, or just, even just in life. I know that, this podcast tonight will touch someone somewhere. But before we leave tonight, I want to allow you enough time to give a shout out and also to provide your contact information so that if anyone wants to come and, purchase your books or check out your screenplays, they can do so.
Sounds like a plan. All right. Well, my name is Indigo Ayo Ra, and let's see. Let's start with these shout outs first. I always want to shout out my mama. I'm so grateful to her, of course, because if it wasn't for her, I would not be here on this planet. I mean, her and my father, too. He all right.
True.
I would be here. And just all the messages where I get from her, from my sister, and of course, a shout out to my son. He is the most beautiful blessing that I have ever truly had. And at the end of the day, all of this is not only for me, but it's also for him to have something, have a legacy, because I am raising an CEO. I don't want to raise an employer. An employee. I don't want to raise no employee. So all
I
get
it. Yeah, definitely. Same thing here. And I know it was someone else you said you wanted to give a shout out to earlier before we end the podcast.
Yeah.
Some lady,
Humanity in Transition. Humanity in Transition. That is the name of the location. Yeah. That is actually over on, girl, I can't even remember the name of the street. It's in Southeast Washington, D.C. though. Y'all look it up, Humanities in Transition. You can actually Google it. And I am your director of RSA, so I'll be up in there, helping to get the jobs and everything. As far as purchasing any of the books, you can go to www.eitmpublishingsllc.com, and that stands for IND Metal Publishings LLC.com. And for upcoming stage plays, www.sdhproductions.com, as in Sheena D. Horn Productions.com. That is my birth name. I don't be sharing that with nobody, but I just shared it with y'all. And as far as the screenplays and everything, just gotta look out, look at a theater near you for the screenplays. Like I said, I'm writing a pilot, so I'm actually want to be probably pushing this pilot to Netflix. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Netflix, maybe Amazon Prime. I'm just gonna be there. I'm gonna be everywhere.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna wait for
try to do me like they did
on Netflix.
Yeah. Look, let me start.
Yeah, why not? I know. Calm down.
Just kidding.
Oh my goodness, girl. Oh my God. I wish we had more time, you guys, on this podcast, because this lady, Indigo, she is a whole vacation. You guys don't even know.
Yes, girl,
I had so much fun with you tonight on this podcast.
I needed this laugh.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I needed it being in lockdown for I don't even know how many days now. I stopped counting. I was confused
Today
on
is
my
Sunday.
days. I thought today was Sunday. Is it? Oh, see, see, I'm confused.
No
Between
judgment.
Saturday
No
and Sunday.
judgment,
Don't
girl.
judge me. Don't judge me. Even the children
Girl.
are confused. Don't even judge me, okay? So you
Oh
guys.
no, I will say at least still get outside. I still go outside.
Well, go
At
ahead.
least
Go
on a
ahead.
walk or something. I can't just sit up in the house all day.
See, yeah.
Oh.
Unfortunately, in Illinois, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
I got you. Won't be walking out there much. Okay, so you guys, with that being said, again, thank you so much, Indigo, for being a guest tonight on the show. I wish you the best in your future endeavors. I know you're going to be great, and if not, you always probably have a spot somewhere available as a comedian.
Can you put that on replay? I was like,
Don't. Because you're definitely off the chain. Oh my goodness. So you guys, we're gonna end tonight with always remembering you are the bomb within your own shell. Peace, love, and light.
good night.
Until next time, you guys, good night. If you enjoyed this podcast, please make sure you subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted. Rate, review, and share this podcast with your family and friends. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you're leaving with some valuable information that can help you on your personal journey. Also, check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Bombshell 1111 or at Bombshell 1111 TV. You can also check out our mental health page, Your Health is Your Wealth, on Facebook, which is a page created to inform and support individuals with mental health and other health conditions. And with that being said, always remember, you guys, you are a bomb within your own shell. And until next time, peace, love, and light.